Okay, hello, alright, we are going to play a little demo here. This is a demo of a little game that is, well, it's not released yet, of course, but it's being funded on Kickstarter, so I decided to give the little demo a shot to see what this game's all about. Now, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Anomie? I'm probably butchering the game, but yes, of course it'll be in the title if you really need to know, as well as links to it. So let's start a new little demo here. We'll play this demo for a little while and give it a shot and see what it all involves. Some would call this is dystopia. It is, after all, a time in history where your individual will cannot be respected as it once could. We are, after all, on the brink of becoming a dying breed. Or so they say, anyway. Regardless of the credibility of their statements, I'm afraid to admit it being a possibility, even to myself. The recent years have been rough for us, and the fugitive bubble of space every member of society once was able to freely move around in has shrunk. It has been slowly choking us from a good while now, and the efforts of both an oppressed and self-oppressed populations can constantly be seen in each of our everyday lives. Sociologist Durkheim probably butchered the name, once spoke of the condition of, and it's that thing again, that is the name of what this is called, right there. Anomie? 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 I'm probably butchering it as hell. Or anomie? As being the result of malfunction organic solidarity during the transition from mechanical solidarity. But on the contrary, if some opaque environment is interposed, relations are rare, are not repeated enough, are too intermediate. Context is no longer sufficient. The producer can no longer embrace the market at a glance, nor even in thought. He can no longer see its limits, since it is, so to speak, limitless. What's anomie? I'll just say anomie. You ask? That's how I'll pronounce it, anomie. That is what I'm going to say it as, instead of trying to figure what it says. Anomie is when you're at the loss for what to do. In our case in life, you don't understand and know nothing about how you and we fit into history. All this is a result of lacking a shred set of norms that maintain a bond between us. You lack roots that make you feel at home in society, and naturally, you feel lost as well. You're a mere unrooted plant, and no firm rooting equals no nutrition. You desperately seek out alternative ways of living life, and with your languished roots, for a source of nourishment to tap into. Grasping at straws, some would say, as few paths led to a scenario wherein society is sustained. These ways of living life, they're easy. They work. Temporarily, at least. As already stated, they're not sustainable, though it seems we have now reached this unavoidable chain of events. But frames thoughts in a societal context, and you have a working, believable theory for why our society is slowly crumbling apart. Story about he was born in an era where dreams are futile. Alright. Chapter 1, an early onset. So that was supposed to be a prologue-based chapter? I'm assuming. I am being ripped out of my ordinary life. I was put into the system's hands. I understand why. I understand why it's necessary. On some level, I am even relieved by it. They have a plan for making this right, because so far it has all been so wrong. Every fiber of my body can attest to that. And supposedly, I won't ever see them again. My mother, my father, and my little sister. I am soon getting on a bus together with the rest of the young, healthy people of my neighborhood. We are leaving for a settlement. It's a settlement where futures are made, supposedly. Where free wills are neglected, presumably. Where the human race will get another chance at surviving, hopefully. We may be fragile and cooperative at first, but humans are surprisingly adaptive. I can already feel myself surrendering to this feeling of resignation. Can't tell if it'll do me any good, or if I'm throwing away the little individuality I had. Scenario, Leaf Cascade. Oh, that must be who's doing it. It's kind of like a little prologue of people. That's my family. I'm assuming. I don't know. It just says scenario. Or maybe that's what the scenario is called. I don't know. That's my family. They're crying. The highlighted right here. I'm assuming it's the highlighted outfit. I wonder if they're going to, because this is the demo and the game's not released, if they're going to actually outline actual people in these, in the outlines. Or is it just going to be outlines? Their son, her brother, is leaving them. She's sobbing hysterically. Damn, if that's supposed to be the little sister, that is tiny. She must be young. It's a little dinky thing. She's holding a smaller version of herself closely. He's holding her. Their faces reflect loss. They are losing me. I wonder if the tiny bundle next to her is old enough to remember her brother when she's older. Even so, I wonder, are memories forever? I wonder, will there come a day when they'll forget about him just for a second? Rain is rolling down my cheeks. It's raining aggressively today. Heavy rainfall is thundering down around us as if reflecting our feelings. A droplet enters my mouth. It's slightly warmer than one would expect. Yet again, a single droplet makes its way into my mouth. It's slightly saltier than the first one. I turn around from them, likely never to see the people called my family again. Empathy isn't something I'm familiar with, yet its meaning has never been more clear to me. Step after step, I emotionally make my way into the line to where the bus will take me away. Around me, families are breaking up. Around me, only sobs and overwhelming, smattering downfall can be heard. Dull, gray sky befitting this day stretches itself over our heads. In a line we stand, waiting for the system to shape our future. Plan is being set in motion. And we are mere puppets. Without premonition on my part, the girl in front of me cuts her arm wide open. My mouth opens, but I'm at a loss. Oh shit. So, wait. You're saying a girl basically committed suicide in front of you? Is that what it is? What just happened? She eventually falls to the ground, never to regain consciousness. So I'm assuming, yes, that's what happened. If she's never going to regain consciousness. Someone just killed themselves right in front of you? Slit their... That's my assumption, is what just happened. A short moment later, someone runs over to her collapsed body. Maybe it's her father. With his hands, he desperately tries to keep the rather dire wound sealed. He's too late, though. The constantly spreading liquid surface created by the downfall has been merged with the dominating bright red color. I watch it unfold in front of me without a word. Yeah, that's gotta be something, though. Watching someone die right in front of you and commit suicide. Kill themselves. Wow. Like, shit. Even I would be probably without words. I'd be like, what the hell just happened? What did I just witness? I'm surrounded by empty expressions, almost as if hiding their vulnerable emotions in the shells that are their bodies. Man's sobbing shifts into a scream that only a tortured soul could produce. I shift my head slightly as to not get any more water in my ear. I wonder if I can get what's already in there out by rapidly jerking my head. I wonder if its numbness is forever. The inside, contrary to the outside just now, is actually rather cozy. The rain is smattering against the bus in a comfort manner. Soothing. The girl who just died was just one life. I'm sure that's the way most of the people in the bus are resonating it out in their heads. Reasoning it out in their heads. Resonating it out in their heads. Actually, I doubt she's even on their mind. More than likely, they're probably wondering what the hell going to be happening. What awaits them is probably what they're thinking. Like, what the hell is going to be going on? What's going to happen next? That's probably what they're thinking. And if I'm in fact right in my assumption, I can't really blame them either. After all, I'm going to say they're all losing their lives. They say we're dying. The human race. Why? Largely due to social disinterest and isolation, whether it be voluntary or involuntary. It has influenced every aspect of our lives, and the consequences have proven to be devastating. Because of these issues that can no longer be ignored, measures have to be taken, they say. Our complete set of surroundings will be reset as to how they once were, and this is believed to be a step in the right direction. What once worked perfectly will once again be set into motion, forcibly. As the younger generation, we're at our physical peak. We can have children. Everyone who has been ordered to make this journey can. Is that what's expected of them? So from my understanding of what's going on in this world is a population is dwindling. I mean, this is actually not, it would not be an unfamiliar thing that occurs. Any country that enters into the first world nation, population will start dwindling. Because when you hit first world nation, the need to reproduce actually starts losing. You have less time. The survivability of offspring is higher, so it's not like you gotta make a baby and your baby has the possibility of dying. And also, society changes. Prospects are looking good for us, both from a physical and biological standpoint. Psychologically, though, I suppose that's the part that'll be requiring us to rework. Our future children will make humanity survive yet another generation, they say. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here, everything. They're going to make them have children? Is that what's going on? Is at least one of the things they're going to be making? Most of us will have children there. Okay, so that's what they've told us. That's all they've told us. So that's all they told you. You're gonna have children there. Okay. Using them as breeding tools, it seems. I look around. Perhaps my future partner is on this bus. Maybe. More than likely, from what I'm getting the assumption here, you have no choice. They're gonna make you breed with whoever they desire. They probably already have it planned out. This person and this person. They probably looked at your genes and all that other stuff, and probably it's all out. The data's already there and everything. It's probably like, okay, these two will fit the best match for the best offspring, or some sort of thing like that. Might be rather unlikely, though. We're just one of the selected cities out of many. I'd like that, though. I don't care who she is. The fact that we'd have something so intimate and common as our origin would be good enough for me. I feel strangely sentimental as these thoughts surface in my head. I guess in times like these, you really do what you have. You do hold what you have close. I doubt they're really going to have much of a relationship, whoever ends up being picked. Or Maybe they'll build one. I doubt it's gonna be like, oh, I think she's attractive, so I want to breed with her. They're probably gonna force you, whomever used to have. From now on, I'll be filling these fragmented memories upon under past. What's gonna happen next? The incessant noise from the engine is reverberating throughout the bus. Aside from that, everyone else keeping quiet. There's the occasional sobbing from a girl in front of me, but ever since she realized that her sobbing was attracting attention, she has stayed quiet. I inhale this bus stale, dusty air and feel my lungs protest. There's something in particular that has been bothering me, though. Came from what can only be described as an unfixed, jumbling train of thought. Something I've been experiencing since I got on this bus. Namely, how there's no way to keep track of time in here. For a while now, I have sensed how my ability to judge time has been diminishing. Has it been 1 hour? 2? 5? Well, it's not like I know where we're going, so does it really matter? There's no water on this bus, though. No water, no food, no toilet. So, surely it can't be too far. But you would assume. Surely. There's no toilet, no water, no food. Everyone seems to be quiet, so no one's I've been asking I'm hungry or I'm thirsty. I wake up from having someone poke me in the shoulder. I've fallen asleep several times during this journey, which isn't all that strange, as I got next to no sleep last night. I mean, who would, knowing that dire things the following day would bring them? After a long, exhausting cry, I fell asleep from maybe a half an hour on the couch with my family. Holy shit. Exhausting cry. It means he must have cried the previous night. That's probably... We decided to spend the last time we had together in unity, reminiscing. Despite nodding off during this bus ride, somehow I don't feel refreshed in the slightest. My internal clock is telling me I've been awake for far too long. I look around. People are getting up and out of the bus. It appears we have arrived at our destination. Oh, what is it? The previously sobbing girl in front of me appears to have managed to stay asleep, despite the commotion caused by everyone getting out of the bus. As I, too, make my way out of the bus, I briefly touch the girl's shoulder as I pass her by. Hey, you awake? Yeah, someone actually talked. I don't think there's been one actual conversation yet. There's finally someone speaking words. Because it's all been internal dialogue and setting up the everything. I'm like, when is there going to be some conversation? I've been waiting for someone to say something. Her eyes spring open in a panic. I wonder if this other girl, we're gonna get her name or something. She stares intensely at me until she relaxes a bit, deeming me a non-threat. Girl. Yeah, she drowsily says, gazing aimed at the floor, eyes flickering. I don't recognize her, now that I see her face up close. Our city's small, but not small enough apparently. Well, it's a city. I mean, it could be considered small, but I mean, a city size could be all different sizes. If it was a village, considered a village or something, you probably would know just about everybody, or at least have met everybody at one point or another. Around her eyes are still signs of having cried. Red tint colors her cheeks, and dried up trails of tears mark her face. She's clearly aware of it, and is trying her best to cover it up so I'm not to take notice. Pointless, but whatever makes her feel more at ease. Without another word from either of us, she gets up behind me. I guess that did it. I make my way out of the bus, with the girl closely following me from behind. Once we have made our way out of the bus, a line of people has formed outside. We're quickly ushered into it from behind by what can I only assume to be the field workers of sorts. Briefly tried to give the girl from just now a glance, but she's already a part of the mass. I focus on the scene in front of us. I wonder if he'll meet that girl again. That's what I wonder. If he's going to meet that girl again and we're actually going to get a name or something in the future. A massive, important-looking man stands before us. He does look like he's pretty big. His piercing eyes scout the line of new arrivals. In other words, us. Rain's drenching us, and him too. However, his gaze is completely unfazed, as if there's nothing that could ever break his concentration. With an unrivaled posture and a booming voice, he begins to speak. Large man. Hello, arrivals. Welcome to your new home. I hope the bus ride here was tolerable. I think back on the many times I briefly fell asleep on the bus and find myself noticing an incessant throbbing originating from my head. I almost stagger upon this realization. I am the lead conductor of this operation, Daniel. We got a name! Someone's name. Hi, Daniel. Daniel. There's something about this manners that seems off to me. Have we gotten the main character's name? I don't know. If we did, it was just a brief moment. I don't even know if we have. I think that would be kind of off if we already know this dude's name. We don't know who the main person's name is. Unless it's not supposed to have a name. It's supposed to be like... I don't know. If I were to describe them, I'd say that they feel... militant. On second thought, a quick assessment of the situation would certainly lead one to believe the military is involved. I'm not sure why I didn't realize it sooner, but everything about this screams of a military operation. As far as the eye can see, there's not a single civilian-looking person aside from the other arrivals. I grab my head in hopes of delaying the side effects of the potential exhaustion I'm experiencing. On this base, we are exactly 288 male inhabitants. This means that in addition to that, there are exactly 288 female inhabitants living here as well. Okay. 288, so an exact number. An absolute balance in gender frequency has intentionally been established as it's believed to match the optimal condition for achieving our goals. All staff is prohibited from establishing romantic relationships with any of the inhabitants, and are thus excluded from the statistics. So, you cannot have romantic relationships with any of the inhabitants. It says staff, though, he said. So, there actually are staff behind the scenes. I suppose leaving us uncontrolled could easily lead to uproads of various forms. I'm sure you're all tired from that bus trip, so you will be escorted to your rooms shortly. Tired is an understatement. Tomorrow, once you've prepared yourself for a day of introduction, make your way back here around no later than 12. 12 means nothing if you don't have a watch, which I don't. Nor does anyone else. We had to give up all our personal belongings before stepping onto the bus. Except for our clothes, but those were sent here in advance to be looked through, so not to be a way of smuggling things. I have no doubt a few people probably try to smuggle something. You know, you get a bunch of people. There's probably going to be a couple who actually try to smuggle something that they was on the do not bring list, whatever that list might include. More likely, it's like personal belongings or something. Picture of your parents. They probably don't want you to remember them. My assumption would be like, this is your new life. We don't want you remembering them. I wouldn't be surprised if that was part of it. Like, nothing, no mementos like that. No pictures. Merely a guess, but I suppose there is one in each of our rooms. There are 12 complexes here. Each complex consists of 4 floors. Floor 1 and 3 of each building are designated to men, 2 and 4 designated to women. Furthermore, each floor holds 12 individuals. That's a total of 48 individuals per complex and 576 individuals across all complexes. You are the 5th batch of new inhabitants to arrive. That means some have already arrived and are settled in already, and that some will arrive here tomorrow and on the day after that. Behind me is a bulletin board. There are lists attached to it with your individual's date of birth along with complex number, followed by floor and room number. After a quick rundown of the situation, the man named Daniel rounds off his brief speech. For now, relax and make yourself at home in your individual rooms. If you fail to appear back here at 12 tomorrow, we will take the liberty of entering your room. That's it for now. Dismissed. Daniel steps away and we're instantly being ushered toward the bulletin board from behind. They're like, get your asses a-going. Get it going. Go. The sound of our boots submerging in the gravel-laid ground resonating around us. Not a single word has been uttered by most of us yet. Not once since we got on the bus. Well, you did mention something, and it has been eerily quiet. I would assume that, a couple people might have started saying something. I mean, or at least the group you're with seems to be really quiet. I'm not surprised that 1 or 2 people didn't go crazy on the bus when like, let me off it, or some shit like that. Well, you did have the little girl who was crying. We get directed and escorted to our buildings and onto our appointed floors. I stumble into my room. I quickly seek out its every nook and cranny and map it out in my head. More specifically, I take mental notes of its exits and other notable features. At this point, I'm about to reach my limit of the amount of time I can stay awake without experiencing severe side effects, so getting some sleep should be my next goal. Priority 1. Scouting out the room has been completed. It's an ordinary, unremarkable room without any kind of luxuries. Well, from what I can see in this picture, it's a pretty plain-looking room. One could say the small room reflects the bare minimum in terms of what a human needs to survive. Well, I could argue that you don't really need a bed. They could have just made you sleep on the floor. Potable water, toilet, and a place to sleep. Oh, you get your own toilet. At least, that's actually quite nice of them to give you your own toilet. You don't have to poop with other people. There even seemed to be a tiny cooler in the corner of the room. It seems there's actually our perishables to be stored. I guess that's at least something resembling a luxury. And look at that. Next to the bed, there's an embedded clock that's hardly noticeable in the dark. I move over to the bed and lie down. Instantly, my head starts spinning. My legs rejoice in bliss due to getting to relax, and I can feel my consciousness drift off. I must have made a great deal of noise, because in that moment, I heard a confused voice. Hello? I instantly opened my eyes that had closed at some point. From somewhere in the room, a female voice just rang out. Why would a female be in your room? I thought these were, separated. First floor, the 4th floor, as you said, were men, and in the middle were the females. So, how the hell would why would you be hearing a female voice? Without getting up, I reply hesitantly. Hello? Oh, so I did hear someone. Yeah, I suppose you did. I let out in slight bewilderment. Yeah, I would be like, what the hell? Even I would be like, I thought we were separated. Whose voice is this? Who am I hearing? It's, this pipe thing in the wall. In case you didn't know, a voice says meekly. Oh, so so it's someone probably above him. Okay, because it said that, there was the bottom floor, so he must be on the 1st floor. Or the top floor. I guess it could be the top floor. That he could be up. She could be speaking. It'd be upwards. I look to the side behind me and vaguely make out this slightly submerged ventilation escape opening in the wall. I must have missed it earlier due to it being somewhat dark in here. It's discreet enough, size-wise and otherwise, for the shadows of the room to cover it up. I see, I reply in reply. I've taken notice of the opening in the wall. Yeah, I don't understand why it's there. An open pipe in the wall doesn't have many uses besides ventilation, so I imagine they forgot to cover it up before they brought us here. They probably forgot to cover it up before they brought us here. I expressed my suspicion and await the girl's reply. I don't think, personally, I don't think he needs to reply that twice. In my opinion. Speak it in his mind and then actually say the exact same thing. Seems kind of redundant to say it twice. He could have just spoken, I guess. I suppose. Though, doesn't it seem quite odd for them to forget to cover it up? Had my room been an isolated case, maybe I wouldn't have given it another thought. But you see, hers is open too, is it not? I wonder if they have them set up on purpose. Like, that is the girl you're going to be connected with. Whoever that girl is that connects that to, that is going to be the one you're going to be. They're hoping that you would find it and you would talk and you wouldn't be able to actually meet them. Maybe talking back and forth to get to know. Maybe. A couple of seconds pass in silence. You think they're listening in, she whispers. She's sharp. In my sleep-deprived state, I had forgotten to even consider that. Who knows? Either way, I have nothing to hide. For now. I don't like the idea of anyone listening in on me, though. She's right. I don't like the prospect either. But that's all it really is at this point, the prospect. Why would our rooms be connected in this manner if their only purpose was to listen in on us? And why would it have been made so obvious? Sure, the hole wasn't discernibly at first glance, but there's no mistake, it's there at this point. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Maybe it's really just in a case of them forgetting to cover the two exits up. She sounds relieved, and I subconsciously relax a little too. That could be the case too. It could be like a total mistake on whoever is in charge of putting it all together. Maybe it's not supposed to be there. And it was supposed to be covered up. But they're lucky. But then why would each end be that way? Now that is another question. He did bring that up too. She sounds relieved, and I subconsciously relax a little too. Hey, she starts up, but goes quiet as if she changed her mind. What? I had her, curious about what she was going to say. No, it's just, what floor are you on? What floor I'm on? Yeah. I believe I'm on the 3rd floor. I thought he said 4th floor was guys. I thought he said 1st and 4th. Unless, yeah, I thought that's what he said. Why would he be on the 3rd floor? Oh, I'm on the 4th. Or maybe did he say 1st and 4th were women and it was the other way around. I thought Daniel mentioned that 1st and 4th were the guys and 2nd and 3rd were the females. Man, I would have to go back and look. Something doesn't seem right there. We both return to silence. 4th, huh? It's not really a surprise. It's one of the girls' floors after all, and the one above ours, to be specific. Yeah, I must have forgotten what floor. Either that or there is some misspelling on what floor they're each on. Earlier, what Daniel was saying. Either I've forgotten exactly what it said, or there is a mistake there. And yet, some more time passes, and my drowsiness returns to me. I hear a sniffle. Is she crying? Well, can you fault her? I mean, she doesn't know what the hell's going on. She doesn't know what to expect. I mean, life could be hard, could be easy. You never know. I'm assuming food and other things will be supplied to you, so you don't have to really worry about that. Food, another junk. Not gonna have to worry about bills. Or taxes or any of that stuff. They're making you do shit, so it's... A lot of those burdens of life are not involved. But I think your freedoms are taken away, of course. Probably have, like, none. I now understand what she's probably at least partly had in mind when she voiced her complaints over the possible monitoring. The crying girl. And I'm probably the only person in the world that can hear her. I wonder if it's that same girl. Now, wouldn't that be something? The same girl we saw earlier on the bus that was crying. And that is her. That would be something. That would be something. Two blunt words exit my mouth. Don't cry. You could hear me? She stammers, clearly hesitated by the fact that I noticed as much, but I can tell solely by her voice. Yeah, sorry. Of course you can cry. I didn't mean it like that. I think you were trying to... What you were saying is that you can cry, just that you're trying to comfort her, saying, it's okay. You don't have to cry. Everything will be alright. I think that's what you were trying to say. That's what I've taken from it. I don't think you're trying to say, you can't cry! How dare you! I don't think you're taking it that way. I second guess myself, and damn my clumsy choice of words, but lastly, I arrive at the conclusion that I at least recovered decently. What's your name? She asked timidly. Quentin. So we finally got his name. Our main character's name. That took long enough. We found out that one dude's name before his name. I've been wondering what his name was. She hesitates as if choosing her words carefully, but finally replies while sounding like she's on the brink of continuing her sobbing. Quentin, I want to go home. The sob she has been holding back since I pointed them out were now being released yet again, much like waves of sorrow continually coming over her, finally fully engulfing her. I do too, I declare. As her gentle, rhythmic, feminine, yet heart-shattering sob fills my room, my eyelids once again gradually close. Only this time, they stay shut until the next morning. Okay, I'm actually going to be ending the demo off there. Well, I am actually wondering where this is going. It took a while for some dialogue to start popping up. Of course, it's an unfinished game, so I can expect and hopefully see some changes. There is some things of improvement. Hopefully that prologue part is not just a black screen the whole entire time. At least we see something there, maybe. There's quite a long black screen at the very beginning of the game. It's pretty much a giant black screen for a while until we saw, I think it was the bus. Well, as I said, thank you for watching this. I will have a link if you wish to check it out. You can check out, I also have a link to the demo where you can check that out as well. If you wish to try it out for yourself and maybe check it out a little farther than I've played here at this point. But overall, I'm interested in seeing where this goes. There is a few improvements that I can see that might be made, but of course, an unfinished game. So those improvements might be made, hopefully. Well, guys, thank you for watching this, and you all have a great day.